Yo. So, yeah, I feel like I'm slouching. It's because I'm trying to stay within my green blanket for the green screen. But anyway, been a while since I've done a video. Oh my gosh, show my, god damn it. But yeah, so it's been a while. I had a bunch of footage, so I figured I would kind of scroll through the surviv changelog and just kind of talk about, like, you know, where I think things start going downhill. Just kind of like talk about my experience with the game. No idea if it's gonna work as green screen, so we'll find out. So yeah, is that it? Alright, so we're gonna start from the very beginning here, and hopefully you guys enjoy some of the Among Us footage I have on this. So let's see. I didn't start playing until like January, like New Year's of 2018, so let's see here. These are just kind of bug fixes. I first started playing on my New Year's stream, so it was kind of like no idea what I was doing, and honestly I'm not really great at like first-person shooter games at all, or like shooter games in general, so like I'm you know, RPGs have been what I've kind of grown up on. But yeah, okay, so January 17th, duo 2-person mode was added. I kind of remember that a little bit. 2 new skins. Yeah, so this was kind of like, surviv was a little quiet, like the Discord server, like I think I was member 138 or something in the Discord server, so it was still very new. And it was like kind of dead, you know, a lot of the OGs who you saw during like the golden age kind of were all starting to join then. And they added a bunch of languages, which, you know, adding different languages to a game is a really huge way to like let it grow. And I almost want to say it was it that Spanish YouTuber Godnut who made the game blow up? I don't know, because he was like a big, probably the biggest IO YouTuber, like among like the big ones, like CorruptX, you know, I Has You. This was, I think, before Duck.io kind of blew up, but he was one of the OG IO gamers. But yeah, this time it was like kind of a quiet game, but then if we scroll to like, I want to say like late 2018 here, around like April or so, like we start getting into like a lot of people started to play the game. It's blowing up. Like, this was obviously still Nick and Justin's era, and then accounts were added in June of 2018. A bunch of stuff was added here, actually, like the docs. Oh yeah, I remember that was added. Yeah, and I remember when the Hydra bunker was added. This was kind of like Nick and Justin were on the grind here. I think this is what led them to leave for a little while, because they got so burnt out doing so many updates this quickly. And they were pretty quality updates too, like there weren't a ton of glitches, and obviously, like, you know, the mansion, the bunker, like this was a huge lore era in 2018, and this was really like, stats tracking, stats tracking, that became huge really quick for the competitive scene. And it's just kind of like, we're starting to get into, I almost want to say the golden era, like the start of it, where like competitive surviv became a lot more popular, like people were making a lot more clans, like in the Discord server, like you had to kind of fight for like advertising for your clan, because there were so many people advertising. You had to get, I think you had to get permission. Yeah, you had to get permission first, and you were trying to like make your ad look like the most pristine, and like make your, you know, put tons of emojis in your ad so it would pop to people more. I can't remember why I made my clan that used to be a Horde.io clan into a surviv clan, but I want to say it was probably end of 2018 I did that, and that blew up pretty quick. Like that was the biggest server of my own I've ever moderated, which was an adventure of its own. Yeah, and then we get to, the iBunker, Halloween map, skins, in October. Yeah, so this was kind of first time there was the Halloween map. That was my favorite, I think, or one of my favorites. The April Fool's mode, I think, was one of my more favorite ones, But this was, again, the golden era of like updates and everything. This was like the most heavy for like the content that we all rely on now, and like and we had the Christmas update, snowball crate, festive tree, snowball bowling. Yep, that was in December 2018. And then we hit a full year since I started playing. There were rivers. Let's see. Some stuff being rebalanced, obviously, because the USAS was added, and that was kind of a little OP. I remember getting tons of kills with that, even as a really crappy player. And then we're getting into 2019. Stuff I think started to die down a tiny bit during this era. There was still like a lot of clan stuff going on, but I mean, clans were kind of toxic. Like they kept the game alive. I don't like when people say, like, simply say alone it was the golden era, because I just remember that being a huge era for like elitists and like, you know, gatekeeping, and honestly that was not a fun time. Like as a YouTuber, like I got a little bit of a pass on some of that just because of being a YouTuber, but for other people, like, it was just so, like, I don't know, it was so toxic too, and like I was getting kind of backlash for not being skilled, or, you know, not putting a ton of time into getting better. But also that was kind of bad time in my life, and I was letting out on the community, so any shit I got then definitely was well deserved. And even now, some of it's still like people don't forget necessarily. What is happening here? Oopsie. Well, I'm accidentally hiding stuff. Yeah, this isn't going to be a research-based video. I know that some people have already done that, and honestly, I don't feel like putting the time into doing that, knowing that people have already done it, and I'm not going to find the information that's fully accurate for what I need to say, so, and now let's see, October of 2019, we got Discord logins for the proxy sites. 2 lone survivors per team in 50v50. That was in November of 2019. 50v50 was not huge. I mean, it filled up, the game's filled up a lot, but like 50v50 was, I think, the last mode added before things really started to go downhill, just in terms of activity. Like, you know, and it's an IO game, so of course, like, they are pretty limited on what you can do with them, with it being a browser game, and like, you know, it's hard to maintain a game like that. And then, let's see, Frenemies event. So this is getting into February 2020. Now I wonder when Congregate came in. I want to say it was end of 2019. I can't remember what Justin said on his Twitch stream about the last update that they did was. I want to say it's probably around here. December 2019. The Polar Bear snow map only. I want to say the last thing they did for Frenemies. I think Frenemies was still Nick and Justin. But I think Explosion. I still kind of remember eggs being a Nick and Justin thing. But let's see. Okay, yeah. June 2015, Golden Potatoes. Storm mode was definitely Congregate. Laser swords. Okay, so that's May 4th. Cinco de Ammo, I think, is definitely Congregate. Minor adjustments. Okay. I'm thinking probably January. I vaguely remember Justin saying January with the Polar Bear stuff was Nick and Justin. So after this is when Congregate came in, I think. This is 2020. So yeah, this was like, the game was definitely kind of dying. It had already been kind of dying here. A lot of the OGs had left. Clans were pretty much killed because you couldn't really advertise them anymore. But also just generally, like, most IO games don't really have a long lifespan, because obviously, like, the era of, you know, battle royale games had kind of been dying for, like, starting in late 2019. Because, let's see, Fall Guys, Animal Crossing New Horizons, like, other games like that, have been coming out, and, like, I mean, you have Apex, you have Fortnite, you have CSGO, you have, yeah. You have a whole bunch of other stuff, like, for shooting games that are better than these, they're also free, so it's kind of, you know, I mean, each kind of game genre dies out eventually, but, and then we have, yeah, so all this area, like, after January was, like, the heat, the heat against Congregate. This was kind of the area where I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I gave them a benefit of the doubt for, I think, like, a full year and a half. Even though seasons were kind of trashy, I kind of wanted to, you know, because they had, like, a few new modes, like contact mode. That was a little weird, but I kind of liked it a little bit. It was very different, but, you know, this was the area. I still made videos talking about the updates, but I felt like I was starting to stretch, like, giving them the benefit of the doubt, because some of the stuff was just a little, like, a little glitchy. And then, oh, let's see, Inferno mode. That one was kind of trashy. They just don't really seem to put a lot of, like, attention to detail in their updates, like, making sure that they actually work, you know. They're very much just like, oh, let's just pump it out and then not worry about it. But it's like, you can't do that, because a lot of the updates were super buggy, and they never even played them again. Like, we haven't had Inferno or contact mode or Cinco. Actually, Cinco de Ambo, I think they did twice, but maybe. But, like, they haven't cycled them through it all, so it's like, you got them once, and it's like, what was the point then? Like, you put all that work in, and we only get to play it for, like, 3 days, like, what? And then, let's see. You can tell they were very much focusing on the Battle Pass a lot and stuff with the stores. Like, I mean, literally, after Nick and Justin left, so much of this is purely, like, adding microtransactions, which I understand in order to support a game, you do need to sell something, but, I mean, this whole area, like, if you look at it, it's all Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass. You can, market sale fee has been reduced, stuff like that, like, you know, a listing fee, and golden potatoes, and, yeah, none of this is lore. Like, lore died after Nick and Justin left. I'm not just saying that as a, like, cliche overused thing, but genuinely, if you look at the changelog, like, there is very little lore. Like, none of this has any kind of real substance to it. Like, I mean, look at this. It's all season stuff, and, you know, and I get that once you start doing seasons, you kind of have to keep going, because if you just stop, it's not good. But, like, in between seasons, there's very little, like, actual good updates. And, man, clans feature was added. Oh yeah, so we're up to, like, 2022 now. You can tell they took a huge hiatus in here. Like, I mean, just the updates are so spaced out, and some of them aren't even, like, actual content. All of this is, yeah, I mean, they really just focused again on just the seasons and like, microtransactions here, because, I mean, they pumped out, like, you know, Inferno and contact mode and storm mode, and after that, never used them again, and no new content since then. You know, all this is just stuff is about skins, you know, little, like, kind of like small detail quality updates, that were, I don't think they should have taken priority over actually adding content. And clans, that was a shit show that took so long for them to fix. And like, man, like look at this. Last update was August 30th for clan competitions. And you can see, let's see, so we have an update. Yeah, they started doing like a single update a month, a couple updates in February. Quality updates for clans because stuff kept breaking. But other than that, you can see a very clear like weaning off of here for updates. Like, let's see, we have, oh yeah, okay, so I can kind of see where this starts. So starting in January 2021, we're gonna start use that as a reference point. We have 2 updates in January, 2 updates in February, 3 updates in March, 2 updates in April, 2 updates in May, 2 updates in June, 1 update in July, and then we skip all the way ahead to September. 2 updates in September, 2 updates in October, 3 updates in November. That was with custom battles were added. And then 1 update in December, 1 update in January, 2 updates in February, 1 update in March. Yeah. And then 1 update in April, 1 update in May. Yeah, so it's very clear, like, dude, like, we should have predicted this. I mean, I kind of did predict that Congregate was weaning off, but, like, the changelog alone is really, like, if you want evidence to put in your video about them leaving the game, this is a kind of, like, you could graph this and, like, make a scatter plot of, like, how many updates per month at which dates, and then see how it slowly spaces out more and more and make, like, a trend line. Like, so, yeah, feel free to use that idea, anyone who's doing a video on this, on the whole, like, downfall of surviv. And then, yeah, I mean, the clans feature was breaking the fucking game, so we had 3 updates in June, but that's the major outlier here. Like, they really just, yeah. No, and some of these updates are all very small, too, like, not a whole lot written on them. But, damn. Yeah, a ton of bug fixes in June, finally. And then all the stuff with clams, all kind of bug fixes because they kept breaking. But I mean, after August, we haven't gotten anything since. It's almost like they're, like, clans were endgame, you know, like, that's the last thing they were gonna do, and then that's the end of it, you know? And it's like, it's sad, you know, because I have been playing this game for quite a while, and I know it's just a game, and you know, obviously my priorities have shifted a lot, just college and trying to keep up with that, but it's sad because it does have sentimental value. I went through, like, a lot during middle school and high school, and, you know, I went through a lot of shit in the community. A lot of it, I'm gonna say 90% was self-inflicted. Some of it was just the toxic community of, like, you know, being around 14-year-olds and, you know, shit like that, but, like, you know, obviously the game was a kind of an escape to me, and I made a ton of videos on it. I do have good memories from this game, you know, like, I made so many videos on it. I liked getting other people involved in them, and, like, you know, I was just like, damn, I gotta, like, I'm working on launching a second channel just because it's like, at this point, if I switch to a different game on my main channel, like, it's not gonna do well, you know, and I feel like, because I haven't been very consistent over the semester, like, there's really, you know, I did it to myself, you know, like, I was so busy, man, I was so fucking busy, but, yeah, so, I'm gonna surviv, you know, I don't think I can continue to logically make videos on it. It's more of a strain and forcing myself to do it than anything else. Like, yes, I do still enjoy the game, but there are just not enough people playing anymore. Like, you can't get enough out of a game from games with only, like, 10 players in it, so, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Let's Talk. I think I went a little over on my Among Us footage here, but I'll probably just loop the ending a little bit, but yeah, so, yeah, for whoever decides to make a video on the downfall surviv, feel free to use my idea of the scatter plot about how many updates per month on that changelog, because that could be more evidence for you, but yeah, I will let you guys know once the second channel is made. It will be Minecraft based. I've been considering being a faceless anonymous YouTuber for that one, so whether or not I share it with you guys is still up in the air, but I will try to get back to making videos on the channel, just playing whatever the fuck I want. Because at this point, my channel is not gonna take off. Like, with the downfall of surviv, it's just, there's no way to dig it out of the grave because the algorithm is just against the channel now, you know? And it's been going for 6 years, you know. I think that's a good running, but I think it's time to move on and play other things, you know? Yeah, it's sad, maybe we'll play a little surviv on the New Year's stream, but, you know, really, like, the game, I can't squeeze content out of it anymore, you know? And I know some YouTubers like Gamer.io are still pulling shit out of their ass somehow. I don't know how they're managing that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I love Minecraft, and I have a really good idea for a channel that I think would be gold, and I'm looking forward to doing it, and I think it'd be very me, the idea I have for it. So I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing some different content on that if I do share the name. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. You know, just hope you're having a good day, and I will show you guys my cat. He's hiding under this comforter. My baby. Can you? Oh, I know. Oh, here he is. Here's the boy. He just woke up. Oh. But yeah. Oh. I'm at my parents' house for break, so yeah. See you guys at the New Year's stream.